Honda WRV was launched in South Africa late last year. It's the crossover SUV version of the Jazz. You have a look, it's got a much bolder front end over here. It is the Elegance version, the top version, so you go up to LED headlights and LED spotlights. And of course you've got lots of body cladding. Because what it does over the Jazz is it gains 40 millimeters in length, in width, and most importantly in ride height and ground clearance. And that's the most important factor when you go to a crossover SUV, of course. You can see the cladding around the wheel arches over here. Very interesting the way it's squared off at the top over there. And you've got very nice 16-inch mag wheels on in fact, on both versions, both Comfort and Elegance. So you do get features like that. You can see the cladding all the way along the bottom of the doors, and the roof rails as standard as well on top. Again, typical crossover style. Going to open up and have a look in the back right now, and you'll take a look and you'll see. First of all, do you notice how much wider the doors open? They open almost 90 degrees, which is great for comfort and space to get in and out. Then, in the back over here, if you have a look, you'll see I've lifted up the one section of the seat. It's what Honda call the magic seat system, where you fold it out the way like this, and can you see the height you've got? Unlike most, whether it's a hatch or a SUV, you've got right to the floor. You haven't got the seats dropped in the way. So that's a great thing for carrying bicycles, something like that. And you've still got lots and lots of legroom in the back over there as well. You come around to the rear, of course, and you open the nice big hatch. And you'll see you've got a pretty decent sized boot in standard format already, and the normal ways of adjusting, of course, boots for hatchbacks or crossovers, and great stuff, a full-size spare wheel. Very good to have. You can see you've got the sort of skid plate effect at the back over there to give you the effect as well of your crossover SUV, and you have got rear park distance control. Beepers at the back. Interesting tail light design over there. And of course you've got the boot spoiler on top with a shark fin antenna. Just little features that you do get overall. So it's a Jazz, but it's not a Jazz. As I said, 40 millimeters height, width, and most importantly, ground clearance. Let's check it out inside now. Moving to the driver's seat, let's start as always. You can see we've done 339 kilometers on the test so far, averaging 6.8 liters per 100. Now, you have got a full trip computer, but it's a little bit clumsy. You've got to press that button, the old reset button, to change the computer, because I want to show you one other figure over here. And that is that I did a 110 kilometer freeway drive yesterday, and I got it down to 6.5 for that one. So you can see the kind of economy you can get out of a 40-liter tank on the car. You've got the computer, as I mentioned, important. Otherwise, very basic instrumentation, all very simple and straightforward. You do have on Elegance cruise control, which you don't get on the Comfort version. You've got, of course, your sound system and all that over there, and you've got phone controls down here. All standard, all normal over here. On the driver's door, of course, you've got your locking, which does activate on pull-off, thank goodness, and one touch for the driver. You come across over here, and I'm going to mention while we're going differences between Comfort and Elegance quite a few times as well. On the Elegance, you've got the 7-inch touchscreen over here. It's very standard, got pretty much everything you want, and it works pretty simply. I'm not going to spend too much time. You've got, of course, automatic air conditioning, which is, again, nice feature. And I do like over here, you've got 2 USBs and a 12-volt power socket over there at the front. Nice stuff. So you've got all these features. Let me just run through very quickly the differences between Comfort and Elegance quickly. LED headlights I mentioned on the outside, very important. Cruise control, important. Upgraded touchscreen. You only get a much smaller screen on the Comfort version, and you get the keyless entry and keyless go. And don't forget, on the touchscreen you also get a reverse camera. Those are the differences between the two versions. 30,000 Rand price difference between the two, mechanically identical. 5-speed manual gearbox over here. Nice short stubby gear shift. Snick, easy, comfortable to use, no problems. So you've got all these sort of features. Nice cloth seats. I've shown you the space in the back. You've got 6 airbags as standard. Good spec level overall. But now let's just come to one or two points. You may have noticed I haven't mentioned the engine yet. Well, in the Jazz, Honda offer you a 1.2 or a 1.5. For some reason, they've chosen with the WRV, at this stage anyway, at launch, to only give you the 1.2 option. 66 kilowatts, 110 newton meters of torque. And it's that 110 newton meters of torque that I think is the point here. It is a great little car around town. But you put this on the freeway, and at 120 k's an hour, you're screaming along at 4,000 revs. And to me, that just spoils the whole experience to a point. It is screaming. I've got to use that word. And I just reckon the 66 kilowatts, you go up to 88 on the 1.5. Can you just imagine the difference that would make to this vehicle? It would turn it around totally in my book. Honda, I'm sure it must be available from India. Why don't you bring in the 1.5 version? You fighting against the EcoSports of the world. For example, I mean, there are many others, but I just mentioned the EcoSport, which is the biggest seller in this category. And if you look at it that way, you need that extra performance, I believe. One other point I did notice on this car was it says LED headlights, but in these COVID times, I don't seem to be doing too much driving at night. I did feel the headlights could have done with a little bit more power to the headlights themselves. So it's just a little thing that I think is an important factor as well, but not serious. High beam was great, but on the normal headlights. But I think I'm being a little bit picky on that one. The WRV comes in, I said there's a 30,000 Rand price difference between the two. This one comes in at 320,000 Rand, 290 for the comfort version. So I must be honest, the headlights, the upgraded headlights, yes, I would like, and the reverse camera would be important to me. The other features I could live without. So it's a good question, considering mechanically they're identical, which version you'd go for. Overall, you know, you're getting Honda quality. Everybody knows the Jazz for years, and I keep telling you this is the jacked up Jazz SUV. Interestingly, although I mentioned it's 40 mils longer, wider, load space, according to Honda, stays exactly the same, load capacity. So quite interesting, that fact. You do get a 4-year, 60,000 kilometer service plan thrown into the deal as well at those prices. Well, good, interesting, new player in this crossover SUV category. It's entirely up to you. You want a car in this category? I suggest you check this one out. For Motorist, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.